Welcome to Long Pond, Pennsylvania at the Tricky Triangle. We're here tonight with a half-decent Racing League Xfinity Series coming to you. Tape-delayed coverage here of the Xfinity race from last night. Had a little technical issues, but we're here this morning to bring you all the coverage from the half-decent Racing League Xfinity Series. Right now, drivers getting up onto the grid. We're going to go ahead and just get right into this here, get the starting lineup. Point standings currently leaded by Matt Dickerson. Matt's going to start fourth here tonight at Pocono. My name's Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Thank you so much for joining us here early morning Saturday. It's 8 o'clock on the West Coast, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. If you don't know your time differences, we'll help you out with that as well. So we're going to get our starting grid going here. So on the pole, in the number 80, Cliff Adams. Third in points right now. Can he improve his position here tonight, move up in the point standings? Hunter Hughes in the 18. Hunter hasn't been here every single race of the season, but when he is here, he has been quick. Watch for the 18 to be up front most of the day. Get back to row number 2. Starting third here at Pocono, Aiden O'Neill in the 87, and your point leader, the 44 of Matt Dickerson to his outside. Back to row number 3. Starting in the 5th spot, it's the 12 of Jacob Barker and the 41 of Colton Gardner. Row number 4, starting in the 7th spot, it's the 29 of Justin Kruger and Benedict Ringer. His friends call him Benny. In the 83, Timu sponsored. Number 83 starting in 8th. Back to row number 5, starting in 9th is the 25 of Shane Williams. Shane missed last week. Hopefully show up with a good run here tonight. The 19 of Connor Fuse is going to start to his outside in 10th. Get back to row number 6. Starting in the 11th spot, it's the 129 of Stephen Farrell and the number 5 of Charlie Bolin. Not a great qualified effort there from Charlie. Let's see if he can move up throughout the field here today. Back to row number 7, going to start in 13th. It's the 88 of Zachary Steele and the 27 of Colin Swanson. Starting in the 15th spot, the Liquid Death sponsor, number 55 of Todd Rush Jr. and Cody Zuroff. Rounding out our final car on the field, the 17 in the 17 starting spot, the number 40 of Matthew Hobbs and Corey Bodeno in our street stock pace car, choose cone, whatever you want to call it. Corey, race control extraordinaire, out there on the racetrack for us as well. So we're going to get cars out onto the racetrack right now. Get going here. 85 laps of action. We'll have stages at laps 16 and 32. Sunny Creek Designs bringing you coverage here of the half-decent Racing League. Thanks for the jumping on board about halfway through the season here, as we are currently on week 17. All right, 85 laps here at Pocono Speedway, the Tricky Triangle. 2.5 miles, the most unique circuit on the NASCAR. The NASCAR series will run on anywhere. It's the only track anywhere that has pretty much 3 distinctive corners. You'll see drivers shifting different opportunities throughout the speedway, mostly through turn number 2. We are going to make our way around that so-called turn number 2 right now. We're going to get down this little short chute here into turn number 3, down the long front straightaway. We're going to get green flag racing here for 85 laps of action. Cliff Adams on the pole, Hunter Hughes to the outside. We're making our way through the final corner. We will go green flag this time by the flag stand. Barney the flag. Well, why do they call him Barney? I don't know. Everybody calls him Barney. We just kind of picked that up from the broadcast. But the green flag will be in the air this time by Cliff Adams, Hunter Hughes at the line. Green is in the air. We head down into turn number 1 for the first time of 85 laps of action. Hunter Hughes going to sneak by Adams up on the outside, but here comes Cliff back down onto the bottom into turn number 1. Can he get the lead back here? Outside line, Hunter looks to have some pretty good momentum out there. Can he carry it off the corner? Side by side for the lead off of turn number 2. Off turn number 1, sorry, for the first time, down into turn number 2. Only 3 corners here, kind of confuses me sometimes, but it's Hughes, Adams, Dickerson now. Dickerson tucked right behind the 18 up on the outside. Hughes is going to clear. Adams drop down to the bottom through turn number 2. Here on lap number 1. 16 laps here in the first stage, 32. Well, second stage will be at lap 32. And we'll go the rest of the distance to lap 85. Here comes Hunter Hughes now with the lead. Cliff Adams, Aiden O'Neill, Matt Dickerson. Big loser of the race so far has been Shane Williams. Started up there in ninth, already down to 15th. The 25 starting falling back to the back of the field. It looks like Colin Swanson did not take the green flag. Neither did Corey Zuroff. But back up front is still Hunter Hughes out in front. Aiden O'Neill's now made his way around Dickerson for third. So it's now Hughes, Adams, O'Neill, Dickerson, Gardner, Barker. That is your top 6 right now. Justin Kruger right there behind him in the 29. Barker takes a peek to the outside of Gardner. Gardner with a great run on Dickerson right there. Just can't close up the rest of the distance to make a move to the outside. But here up front, Adams is starting to sneak up on the back of the 18 of Hughes. You can see the gap closing as they come up off the corner. Cliff just getting a so much better run off the corner right there. Closing in on the back of the 18. Cross the line to complete lap number 2. Start lap number 3. Adams closing right back up on the back bumper of Hughes. As they have a look to the inside into 1, he is going to take a peek. Not going to have enough momentum to get up alongside. He's going to have to settle back into second. A little further back, we see Connor Fuchs on the outside of Stephen Farrell in the 129. This is a battle back here for 10th and 11th. Fuchs is going to get clear. That's going to let Zachary Steele get up on the outside of the 129. So it's now Steele and Farrell battling this out. This is now for 11th and 12th. One of the trickiest tracks here to keep the tires up underneath you too. That right front will go away in a hurry. Who can save the tires here? Who can... We've got a couple of short runs here in these first couple of stages, so fuel is not going to become a factor. But who can keep the tires on? They've got Hughes up here putting a blistering pace early. Can he keep this up for the next 12 or 13 laps to complete stage number 1? Take a look back here a little further. We see the 5 of Charlie Bowling. Charlie started back in 12th. He's moved up 3 spots. He's up to 9th. The back up front is still Hunter Hughes doing a great job here. He got out in the lead on lap number 1. Cliff Adams has not had anything for him. Right now he's about 5 or 6 car lengths back. About 0.3 of a second. You can see the visual on the screen. It's about 5 or 6 car lengths. Take a look back here a little further. We see close to 3 wide action right here with Dickerson, Gardner, and Barker. Now Barker closing up on the back of the 41. They've done that long frustrated across the start-finish line. Barker's going to take a look to the inside. Does he have enough to get by the 41? He does. He's going to get alongside of Gardner into 1. Can he keep the momentum up on the bottom of the racetrack? Move himself up another spot, back up to 5th. Barker looking strong here early. He's trying to get by Gardner here. Side by side. Between turns 1 and 2, he did not have enough pace off the bottom of the corner. He's going to have to settle back behind Gardner now. Aiden O'Neill started in 3rd. That's where he's at. Still hanging on to the 3rd spot. He's got Dickerson all over the back of him. Look back here from the 87. Here comes Gardner on the outside of Dickerson. Nice run for the 41. He gets up alongside of Matt Dickerson. They come off the corner right there, across the start-finish line one more time. He is going to take that spot away. If we take a look here from the back bumper of O'Neill, a nice move from Colton Gardner in the 41. He is going to clear himself up into 4th spot. He's now up 2 spots after starting in 6th. He's also getting another good run here on the outside of O'Neill. Gardner's looking to find some pace. He's found a good line here on the outside of the racetrack. Can he move himself up a little bit further? He's now around Matt Dickerson. Can he find a way around Aiden O'Neill in the 87? Take a look back here. A little battle going on back here for 13th and 14th is Shane Williams on the bottom of the racetrack. Todd Rush in the Liquid Death number 55 here on the outside. He's going to lose a spot. Williams is going to go by for 13th. Steele and Farrell still going at Zachary Steele's not going to get around the 129 of Farrell. He's now up to 11th. Steele now up into the 11th spot after starting back in 13th. Moving up a couple of spots. Zach, you got to turn your picture the other way for us there. Farrell coming right back at him right there. Nice little battle going on here between Farrell and Steele. This is for 11th and 12th right now. We're pretty much single filed out here. No real drama here early on at Pocono, which is always a good thing to see. But we see Aiden O'Neill under pressure once again from Gardner. Gardner's getting a great run off the corner right there. We saw him clear Dickerson in that same matter, and look at the run he's got up on the outside. Colton Gardner has found a little bit different groove out there than everybody else, and that's the way you got to make the passes. You got to go where they're not. Come off of turn number three down the front straightaway here. Down into turn number 1. Can Gardner clear O'Neill? Because I think what we've seen here is the car on the bottom getting into 1 has had the better positioning and is able to hold the spot. But right now it is the 41 of Gardner up on the outside and the 87. So my brain paused for a second there. And 87 O'Neill down on the bottom. Dickerson and Barker right there behind Gardner, and they see that run that Gardner's getting off the corner, off of turn number 1 down that outside, down that little short shoot between 1 and 2. But Colton's just not able to hold the pace up off the corner right there. O'Neill's going to take the spot back. It's always good when you have multiple grooves on a racetrack like this, and you can see Colton Gardner taking advantage of it. Side by side there with Dickerson off the corner. Barker with an evasive move. He takes a look way down to the bottom of the racetrack across the start-finish line. He's able to actually, that worked out really well for me. Come off of turn number 3, drove down to the bottom, was able to pick up some momentum. And that's going to get him by Matt Dickerson for that 5th spot. So we've got a tight battle going on here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th between O'Neill, Gardner, and now Barker's joining the party. See Dickerson right there in the 6th spot. A little bit further back is the 83 of Benedict Ringer. And he's got Justin Kruger in the 29 on his back bumper. Up front is still Hunter Hughes. Hunter Hughes has led. Let's take a look at our lap leaders here so far. 9 laps completed. Hunter has led them all. So 9 laps down. Hunter got around Cliff Adams for the lead on the opening lap, and he's held it ever since. We've got 9 laps down. We've got 9 to go. Let me rephrase that. 9 laps down. We got first stage coming up at 16, so 7 laps left to go here to complete stage number 1. Hughes, Adams, O'Neill, your top 3. A little further back, we still got this battle going on back here. Shane Williams and Todd Rushman going at it for about the last 5 or 6 laps here. The 25 and the 55 here battling back and forth. This is back here for 13th and 14th, but they're putting on a show. Right now, the only 2 cars running side by side putting on a battle. Williams is going to tuck back behind the 55, settle back into 14th. Colin Swanson off the racetrack. I think Colin missed the race, missed the start of this thing, but he is now off the track. Here comes Adams back. We jump back up to the front, and Adams has got to run on Hughes. Down to the inside. Can Adams find some pace down that long front straightaway here? They're going to come across start finish line to complete lap number 11. And Adams has got to run into 1. We've seen this most of the race already. The car on the bottom into 1 has got the place, got the positioning right there, and he is going to take that top spot away from Hughes. Off of turn number 1, Cliff Adams. We got a new leader here at Pocono. Started on a pole, now found his way back to the front after Hunter Hughes has led most of this race. Hughes looks to the outside. Nothing there. Cliff Adams not giving him any space. Down that little short straightaway between 2 and 3. Off the final corner here, Cliff Adams going to carry the lead down as we complete lap number. This is going to complete lap number 11 here. I think I said that last lap. I started lap 11. We're completing lap 11 now. Cliff Adams coming to the line with the lead. We got our second leader of the race, Adams, Hughes, and look at Aiden O'Neill in 87. He's closed up into this battle right there. We got a 3-car battle for the lead. O'Neill takes a peek to the inside of Hughes. Not quite enough room. Hughes slams the door on him right there. 87. O'Neill has to tuck back in into the 3rd. Gardner closing in. We're about ready to have about a 8-car battle here for the lead, as we are all nose to tail. You can see that draft working right there as Gardner able to pull up on the back of O'Neal, closing on the back of O'Neal right there. Multiple different entries into the corner. Hughes takes a look back to the bottom. Here comes Gardner now around the 87. Colton Gardner has really shown some pace there. He's got a good hot rod there in the 41. He's coming to the front. Up 3 spots now after starting in 6th, up to 3rd. He's going to clear O'Neal. Made that look really easy. Now he's got Hughes in the 18 right in front of him. Adams looks like he's trying to break the draft right there. As he moved down the racetrack, Hughes followed him down. Here comes Gardner. Right there, he is now closed in on the back of the 18. Does he have anything for our second place driver? Everybody's spanning out down the back straightaway. Adams down to the bottom. Hughes stays up on the top of the racetrack. O'Neal down to the inside of the 41, and Gardner's head down into the corner. Off of turn number 2, it's side by side for 3rd. But Gardner once again gets a great run off of the outside. Matter of fact, he had to check up, getting to the back of the 18. It's going to cost him a spot right there. Colton Gardner had such a great run off of turn number 2, but Hunter Hughes blocked his path right there, and he had to check up. That lets O'Neal get by him on the inside, at least up next to him. Barker right there behind him as well. A little further back is Dickerson. He's falling off the pace. We got Charlie Bowling going to make his way down pit road. So Charlie going to short pit this first stage here. He's going to come in and pit here on lap number 14. But up front right now, it is still Cliff Adams, Hunter Hughes. And we have just got a flock of cars, a bundle, a gaggle, what do you want to call them? But Adams starting to pull away a little bit. But second on back, all right there together, is now O'Neal looks to the inside of Gardner. Barker as well tries to follow him past. Three wide down the back straightaway. Barker is going to get past Ringer and also at the same time trying to get by O'Neal as Gardner still hanging on to 3rd. Just a couple laps left to go here in stage number, might be the last lap here in stage number 1. Adams, Hughes, Gardner, and O'Neal. That's your top 4. Then it's a battle right there with Barker and Benedict Ringer. He's down on the bottom in the 83. Up alongside of the 12. Right behind them is Matt Dickerson and Justin Kruger. This should be an end of stage number 1 when they come across the line. Through turn number 2. Down the short straightaway between 2 and 3. Cliff Adams with a big lead right now. It's almost a full second back to Hunter Hughes. I think Hughes might have used this stuff up here early, leading those early laps. Right front starting to go away on the 18. Here comes Cliff Adams off the final corner. So it looks like they're going to make a liar, and they're going to go one more lap here. So we're going to, at the end of lap 16, will be stage number 1. Everybody does a little different. Sometimes at the start of the lap, sometimes at the end of the lap. So it's going to be, looks like we're going to be one more lap here, and then we'll be at the end of this first stage. As we look back here for 3rd, it's O'Neal and Gardner now. Gardner on the outside, O'Neal down on the bottom. But up front, it is all Cliff Adams. O'Neal and Gardner are going out for the last few laps here. Aiden O'Neal's got a good run down the bottom of the racetrack, and Gardner fight back. No, he's going to have to lift right there. He's heading into the final corner. He's going to have to give up that spot. He's going to settle back for 4th. And across the line this time, it's going to be Cliff Adams bringing home the stage win. That is going to be the end of stage number 1. As we are under caution now, Cliff Adams. I'm not sure why my graphics not showing me a caution, but we'll just have to live with that since it is a tape delayed coverage event. Tape delayed coverage of the Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series from Pocono. Cliff Adams is going to bring home the win here in stage number 1. Hunter Hughes, Aiden O'Neal. That's your top 3. Colton Gardner back in 4th. Matt Dickerson got himself back up into 5th after dropping back to about 8th or 9th at one point. right, so complete stage number 1. Stage number 2, we'll go to lap 30, or the lap 32, and then we'll go the final 53 laps. Stage number 3 to complete the 85 laps here at Pocono. But right now, it's all Cliff Adams. Hunter Hughes led early. He's going to have to save some tires, learn how to save that right front tire a little bit as he's kind of faded back a little bit. Adams got away by about a second as we're going to go down pit road here. Get our opening pit stops here in stage number 1. We're going to take a quick break. We come back to the start of stage number 2. Right now it's Cliff Adams, Hunter Hughes, Aiden O'Neill, your top 3.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief. Your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
All right, we're back live here with you with the Half Decent Racing League. 85 laps of racing action here at Pocono. Charlie Bolin short pitting the stage number 1 is going to give himself the lead. So the number 5 has found himself up to the front after starting in 12th. So that strategy of short pitting a couple laps before the end of stage number 1 is going to put Charlie Bolin out in front of this thing. He's got Hunter Hughes right there behind him in the 18. Round number 17 of the season here for Half Decent Racing League. We're going to be here with you every Friday night. Well, we weren't with you last night, but we're going to be here with you every other Friday night throughout the rest of the season, bringing you live coverage. We've also got some more races coming your way. Later on today, we're going to have another tape-delayed broadcast of the Survival 200 Chaos event that was ran last night. Don't miss that. That's going to be something to watch. They ran mini stocks, Indy cars, and Craftsman trucks at Daytona. We didn't take a peek at that, but I heard it was pretty chaotic and a lot of fun, so watch for some delayed coverage of that later on. Later on tonight, we'll be live with the JWR E-Racing. Where are we at? Craftsman trucks at Talladega tonight for the money racing community at JWR E-Racing. And then we're back Tuesday night, so we got lots of action coming your way in the next few days. Tuesday night, we'll be back with the Dirty Old Bastards ARCA series at 9 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday. And there goes Corey Bodeno on our race-controlled home car going by there on the screen. And also Tuesday night, we got the Western Racing League Truck Series. Lots of action coming your week. And then we're going to run, I believe, both Tuesday and Friday night. We're going to be at the new San Diego, is it Qualcomm Speedway, I think is what they call it, but the road course that just entered it into iRacing in the last week. So should be interesting. Most of these drivers not going to have a ton of experience on it, so it should be some pretty exciting racing next week, all week long. So do not miss out. We've got lots of racing action coming your way over the next 7 or 8 days. But right now, we've got to finish up this Half Decent Racing League event here. Charlie Bolin has found his way to the point. He's got Hunter Hughes. He's got a lot of hot rods right there behind him, all on fresh tires, as Charlie pitted about 4 laps earlier. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but 4 laps is going to put a lot of wear on that right front tire here at Pocono. You're really leaning on that through the corners. Pace car's going to make that left-hand turn. We're going to go green flag this time by Charlie Bolin, going to set the pace here in the restart zone. Green in the air for the second time. Charlie Bolin, Gardner with a great start. Hughes kind of falling asleep back there. He's going to fall back to about 4th. Gardner's going to move up to 2nd. Ringer right there with him. Bolin's going to lead us down into turn number 1. He already moving way up the racetrack. Open up the bottom for Gardner. Gardner's going to take advantage of it down through turn number 1. He's looking down to the bottom. Off the corner, Charlie's going to get a good run. He's going to keep the lead here through this little short shoot through 1 and 2, between 1 and 2, and he's going to take the lead down into the corner. Charlie Bowling, Colton Gardner, Benedict Ringer. That is your top 3 right now. And it's a little ways back to Hunter Hughes. Hughes started on the suited on the inside row of the restart, but lost a few spots right here. He's now down to 4th, and he has got Aiden O'Neill all over the back of him for 5th. Adams, Barker there side by side. Adams, your race leader, your winner there at stage number 1, trying to make his way back up after losing a few spots in the pits. He's now down back up to 6th as he gets around Barker. Battle for the lead is head into one more time. Charlie Bowling showing some good pace here on a little bit older tires, and it looks like we may have a caution. Not quite sure who was involved in this. It looks like it was the 129 of Farrell. See if we can go back a lap here. All right, not quite sure what that caution was about, but unfortunately, with our tape delay coverage, it's a little more challenging to find some of those incidents, what's going on. But we're going to be under caution here for our first caution for cause, as they call it, here tonight at the Half Decent Racing League, or this morning, whatever you want to call it. But right now, it's Bowling, Gardner 1 and 2. We're going to go ahead and jump a lap ahead here in our coverage. We're one more lap here left to go. I guess that is the advantage we have doing this. But right now, Charlie Bowling going to try to clear the tires off a little bit right there. I think there's been some debate in iRacing back and forth whether that actually does anything or not. But I did read in one of the last blog updates, they are talking about adding the effect of the marbles collecting up on the top of the racetrack. When you watch a NASCAR race or any other kind of race on a pavement, you see the marbles of rubber and everything just piling up on the outside of the racetrack. They're talking about adding that, which would add a nice little effect if you get up there. You can see it visually on the racetrack, but I don't think it really physically does anything. But I did see some discussion about that, and if they put that in, you get the car way up on the top of the racetrack, those marbles, you're going to see a lot of different things happen here. So we'll see how iRacing progresses here. So it looks like Bowling took the outside. Gardner took the outside as well, so that's going to allow Benedict Ringer to move up a row. He is going to start here on the inside on this restart here on lap 23. Benedict Ringer started back in 8th. Bowling started in 12th. Right now, Charlie Bowling is your biggest mover of the race. Let's take a look at his CZ Motorsports teammates. Let's see where they are on the racetrack. Bowling up there in 1st, Zach down in 8th, Todd Rush in the 13th spot, and Cody Zuroff down there in 19th. Cody did not take the green flag here tonight. All right, off the final corner, we're going to go green flag. It'll be up to Charlie Bowling there on the outside to set the pace here on this restart. Ringer down on the bottom. The inside road just does not get going very well. Again, you can see that the outside just got a great advantage on the restart. Ringer's going to fall back a few spots. O'Neill did not get a good run either. He's going to fall back to 5th. So right now it's Bowling. Gardner once again takes a look at the bottom. Here's the 1800 Hughes now, right back up to 3rd. Bowling, Gardner, Hughes, that's your top 3. Contact. Looks like it was the Matt Dickerson in the 44 going to get involved in this. I think I saw Shane Williams also down the bottom of the racetrack. Matt Hobbs spun around on the outside wall. Let's see if we can jump back a lap and see what happened there. We'll keep an eye here on the 44. See if we can see what happened here to Matt. He's going to slide up the racetrack just a little bit 4 wide off the corner right there. There's just not that much room right there. Hobbs saw the opportunity, just dove down into that hole. That is going to collect the 44 and the 25. So unfortunate right there. But that's going to be our second caution for cause as we get back up here to the front. So your points leader, Matt Dickerson, involved in a caution. Your Shane Williams also up here in the top of the point standings, also involved in this one. The drivers do have one fast repair at their disposal. Let's see who's going to use theirs here. If we are under caution one more time, we're going to go ahead and jump forward in time here. One lap left to go. We're gonna time travel for you there. All right, Bowling's had the lead since we went back to racing after stage number 1, which was about lap 17 or 18. So we've got about 5 laps left to go in stage number 2. Charlie takes the outside line once again. The bottom line just has not been able to keep up pace on these restarts. So let's see if Ringer can do a little better job than the last few guys were down on the bottom. The 83, the team who sponsored number 83, a little contact there from Charlie and Big Ringer there. Little door banging on the caution. All right, there goes Corey Bodeno, our race controller, in the choose cone enforcer. Ringer, Bowling, O'Neill, Gardner. That's your top 4. Come around to complete lap 27 of 85. Once again, Charlie Bowling short pitted. If you weren't here early, short pitted before stage number 1. Got himself up here to the lead. So far, he's been doing a really good job of holding pace. But he has now got Benedict Ringer to his inside on this restart. Let's see if Benny has anything for him here. Gardner and O'Neill side by side, right behind these two. Roll through the final corner. Green flag will fly. Charlie Bowling going to bring us to the restart zone. Green flag is in the air once again. Ringer gets a little bit better jump on the bottom this time. Bowling goes down to block the run. And he goes back up to the top as he gets down to turn number 1. Bowling just kind of moving back and forth, trying to find the best line, but he's up on top. Back down to the bottom as he comes off of turn number 1. Gardner on the outside, Ringer on the bottom. 5 laps left to go to complete stage number 2. O'Neill's peeking out down there on the bottom of Ringer. That's for 4th. And here comes Hunter Hughes up on the inside of Gardner. Gardner stuck up on the outside. He's been running pretty well up there, but not going to have the pace right here. Hughes is going to get by him for 2nd. Side by side racing here, top 6. It's now O'Neill falling back there to 4th. Ringer and Barker fighting it out for a 5th and 6th spot. Then as Zachary Steele made his way up here. Cliff Adams, your early race leader, dropping back here to 8th. He's going to lose another spot as Kruger's going to go by him for 8th. Kruger up to 8th. Adams back to 9th. Up front is still the 5 of Charlie Bowling. He's got Hunter Hughes closing in on the back of him. Just a few laps left to go here in stage number 2. Bowling, Hughes, look at O'Neill down to the inside of Gardner. Gardner has had some good pace on that outside line. You can see him fighting back up there, but O'Neill's going to clear him. Great shot looking down right here at these 3 cars right here. O'Neill, Gardner, and Ringer. This is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Ringer falling back a little bit. Here comes Barker down on the bottom. They come across the start-finish line one more time. Barker now trying to move around Ringer for 5th, and he's going to make the pass as they head into 1. Keep an eye on this battle up front. Hughes is starting to close in on the 5 of Bowling. You can see the gap shrinking. They head through the corners between 1 and 2, down into the second corner. Bowling less than 0.2 of a second. Hughes is catching him. Watch the 18 and the 5. The 18's got to run down into the turn number, into the final corner. It's going to look to the outside. Charlie blocks off that bottom line. Hughes has to move up to the middle of the racetrack. Does he have a run off the corner? Down this long front straightaway here at Pocono. They're going to head into turn number 1. Hughes going to take a peek to the inside. This is your battle for the lead. We jump on the nose of the 18. Charlie's able to get a little bit of separation, head into the corner, but watch the run that Hughes is going to get from the center off. He's going to close back up on the back of the 5. Down through turn number 2. We're going to have a battle for the lead here any lap. But right now, Hughes is all over the back of Bowling on a little bit fresher tires. Only about 4 or 5 laps, but that is definitely going to make a difference. As you see Charlie pushing up the racetrack there off the corner. Has to turn the car hard to keep it off the outside. Well, Hughes to the bottom of the racetrack. Charlie's not giving him a lot of space right there, but giving him enough. They're side by side. Off of turn number 3, this time by Hughes. Bowling across the line. Who's going to have it? I think it's going to be the 1800 Hughes. We got an incident happening back there behind us. It looks like Kruger's involved in it. O'Neill, who's been running up in the front in the 87, he is going to get involved in this one as well. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened here, but it involved a few of our front runners. Cliff Adams also involved. Justin Kruger. Let's jump back a lap here and see. Keep an eye on the 87 here. He's underneath Gardner. I have a feeling this is where it all took place here. Ringer's closing up on the back of the 87. Looks like. Let's just see if we can see what happened here. We got Aiden O'Neill down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to get underneath Gardner. I go back. I only went back a lap here, so let's. Oh, tap from the back of Ringer, and the 83 is going to send O'Neill around. It's going to collect Steele. It's going to collect Adams, Kruger. Let's go back and let's rewind that just a little bit here and see if we can see what happened. But it looks like Ringer just got a little better run in the corner and just did not anticipate O'Neill's easing up as much as he did, or backing out of the throttle, or what he was doing there. We'll take a close look at it here as they head into the corner. A little bit of a, and then just Ringer just gets a good run into the corner, just gets right in the back of O'Neill. I think O'Neill checked up a little more than he expected, and around goes the 87. All right, so we'll time travel once again, get back up to the front. Hunter Hughes, Charlie Bowling. I think that's going to be, is that going to complete? We're at lap 32. That should have completed stage number 2. So Hughes is going to take the lead, take the win here take the stage win at stage number 2, as we've got everybody coming down pit road. You can see the damage on the back of the 41. Steele getting some repairs. The right front completely gone off the 88. And it miraculously reappears. That's the magic of iRacing. All right, let's see who wins the battle off pit road. It's Hunter Hughes, Jacob Barker, Charlie Bowling. That's going to be the top 3 off of pit road right now. For Charlie's strategy, a short pit in the first stage has really played out for him. It's going to keep him up here in the podium spots here as we complete stage number 2. So our current top 10 is we're going to go back to racing to complete our 3rd stage. It's going to be Hunter Hughes, Jacob Barker, Charlie Bowling, Colton Gardner, Benedict Ringer, Stephen Farrell is your top 6. Stephen with a good run getting back up here into the battle. Matt Dickerson back up to 7th after getting involved in that first caution flag early on. Connor Fuse in 8th. Todd Rush Jr. got himself into the top 10 right now. And Justin Kruger, who was just involved in that last caution, right now down there in 10th. All right, so it looks like light's still on the pace car. We're going to come around here We had our where's Corey? We haven't given Corey any screen time here. Let's find him on the racetrack here. Here's our choose cone car. Corey Bodeno, race controller extraordinaire. Gonna park it here on the front straightaway, and you're gonna see as the cars start to come around the racetrack, they're gonna get to choose their inside or outside line. Looks like Hunter's gonna go to the outside, Gardner the outside, Charlie down to the bottom, Ringer down to the bottom as well. So one more lap to go. We'll get back to green flag racing. Let's look at a few drivers maybe out of this race. I don't see Shane Williams out there anymore. Matthew Hobbs, Colin Swanson really did not missed the start of this race. Got out and made 8 laps, but he is done for the day. It looks like Cody Zuroff was not able to take the green flag in the number 54 CC Motorsports. Let's take a look at our current points leader, see where they're running on the racetrack. Your points leader, Matt Dickerson, right now currently in 7th. Second place in points, Jesse Singleton did not make the show tonight. Cliff Adams in 11th. Jacob Barker is running in 3rd right now. Aiden O'Neill down to 13th. That's your current running position for the top 5 in the standings. All right, we're going to go back to green flag racing on lap 35. We'll have 50 laps left to go. Thank you for joining us here for some early morning tape delayed coverage of the Half Decent Racing League. Round number 17 here at Pocono in the beautiful hills of Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Hunter Hughes has found his way back to the lead. Charlie Bowling on the bottom as Barker chose the outside, so that with that choose cone, you can move up a couple of spots if drivers choose different lanes, and that outside line has proven to be where you want to be on these restarts. So let's see if Charlie can get a little better start on the bottom than some of the other drivers have had early on in this race. Green flag in the air once again. Hughes on the outside, Bowling on the bottom, and there just doesn't look to be as much grip on the bottom of the racetrack. To be honest with you, as Charlie falls back about a car length, but he's going to get some speed into turn number 1. He's got the inside of Hughes. Hughes able to go down to the bottom of the racetrack, cut the line off from Charlie Bowling. Bowling's going to get a good run off of 1. Baker up on the outside. Can he keep the momentum off the corner? Gardner's going to collect the wall a little bit off the corner. Charlie's going to slide up in front of Dickerson. Barker was able to clear him. Charlie found a hole in front of the 44. Here comes Matt Dickerson. After having to use his fast repair early on, he's now found his way back up into the top 3. Hughes going to make a mistake. Get into the outside wall, comes down the racetrack. Gets into the side of the 5. We're 3 wide right there. Bowling now back up to 3rd. He's got Matt Dickerson right in front of him. Matt taking advantage of a few mistakes right there. He's back up to 2nd. Jacob Barker is going to lead for the first time here today in the 12 across the line. Jacob Barker, Matt Dickerson, Colton Gardner, now Hughes and Bowling have fallen back a few spots. Keep an eye on this battle right here for 4th and 5th. He's got Stephen Farrell on the 129 to his outside now. Charlie starts to fade up the racetrack. Farrell has to take evasive action. Moves up the racetrack to avoid the 5. He's going to lose a couple of spots. He's going to fall back to 8. Up front is Barker, Dickerson, Gardner, Hughes. Charlie Bowling back to 4th, back to 5th now actually at this point. Connor Hughes with a good run. Up 4 spots, started in 10th. He's now up to 6th. So Connor's starting to make his presence felt in this one. Hunter Hughes able to slide up in front of the 5 off the corner right there. Take that 4 spot back away. Put Charlie back to 5th. Single file. We see Cliff Adams down on the bottom of the racetrack trying to make his way back to the front after getting involved in a caution a few laps ago. Hunter Hughes tried to take a peek to the inside of Gardner. That's going to allow Bowling up on the outside. He's able to run off a 1. And again, you can see that 5 car pushing up off the corner. He has to take a hard left-hand turn to keep it off the wall. Keeping on his battle for 4th and 5th right now. It's getting a little spicy, a little dicey. Bowling down to the bottom. Make our way off the final corner. Here comes Connor Hughes way up on the outside. Hughes on the outside, Hughes on the bottom. Bowling stuck in the middle. They're going to get together coming off of 4, or coming off of 3. Hughes is going to go around heavy contact. The 5 of Bowling also going to go around. We said it was starting to get a little spicy right there, and they're going to make some contact off of turn number 3 at the start-finish line. Let's see if we can go back and take a look at that last lap here to see what happened. We'll watch this last lap here. Bowling trying to find a way around Hughes in front of him here. I think this contact started probably back at about the middle of turn 3 and it ended up finishing in there as they got off the corner heading to the line. But keep an eye right here on his 4th and 5th battle between the 18 of Hughes and the 5 of Charlie Bowling. As Charlie gets a great run right here. Closes it in on the back of the 18. He's going to take a look to the inside. Going to clear the 18 as they head into turn number 3. Pushes up the racetrack. Hughes sees the opportunity to move to the bottom. And Charlie just connects that, just clips that right rear quarter. Let's go back and take another quick look at that here. Maybe a little bit different angle, see what we can find. We don't like to rewind, but sometimes it's the only option we have to find what we want. There we go, look from the chopper cam. So we see Hughes, we'll go back a little bit further here. So you can see Hughes has made the move back up underneath the 5s that come off the corner right here. Hughes starts to slide up the racetrack a little bit. A little bit of net code there. It looks like Mighty started that because it looked like Hughes actually started to turn a little bit before they even made contact. And then Charlie just kind of clips that right rear, turns the 18 up the racetrack. So Bowling, Hughes going to get collected in this one. It looked like Stephen Farrell's going to have to jump down to the pits. I think I saw Connor Hughes. I think Connor was able to clear it. We're going to get back to green flag racing after our 3rd or 4th, I don't know, I lost counts. 3rd or 4th caution for effect right there here on lap 38. So 12, Jacob Barker has found his way to the front. Let's take a look at our lap leaders in this race. We've had 6 different leaders. Hughes now led 16. Bowling got up there and led 13 laps. Adams 7. Barker's led 5. Stephen Farrell led 2. Aiden O'Neill got up there and led a lap as well. Race recap, we've had 6 different lead changes. All right, let's just go once again. We're gonna time travel, and you can see we got one more lap left to go. We see our friendly cone car, Corey Bodeno, parked out on the racetrack. All right, starting in lap 41, nearing the halfway point of this race here. It's Jacob Barker, not Charlie Barker. It's Jacob Barker. Justin Kruger has now found his way up to 2nd. Matt Dickerson back to 3rd after getting involved in a caution early. Benedict Ringer also involved in a caution, has got himself back up into the top 5. Cliff Adams, stage 1 winner, up to 6th. Connor Hughes down to 7th. Looks like we've got 13 cars left on the racetrack. I see Stephen Farrell's been in the pits for a long time. And I think we've lost the 25 of Shane Williams, the 40 of Matthew Hobbs, and then Colin Swanson and Cody Zuroff just did not even really get going here tonight. All right, we're going to go green flag this time around. Make our way through turn number 2, down that little short straightaway between 2 and 3. Jacob Barker is going to bring us to the line. He has got Kruger right there with him, Justin Kruger. One of the more aggressive drivers you're going to find here at the Half Decent Racing League has found his way to the front of this thing. So it's the 12, the 29, Dickerson and Ringer in the 44 and the 83 right there behind him. We're going to go green flag off of turn number 3. Down this long front straightaway here at Pocono to start lap number 42. We'll be halfway through this 85 lap affair. And as we've seen every single restart, the outside line getting the advantage. Barker going to take the lead into 1. Dickerson up on the outside. Kruger's got a great run on the bottom. He's going to get by the 44 as he enters turn number 1. Can he get up alongside of Barker? No, Barker going to able to move down to the bottom of the racetrack. Dickerson fighting off of turn number 1 up on the outside of Kruger. Kruger falls back a little bit. He's going to fall back to 3rd. Finds a hole to get into between the 44 and the 41. Right now, it is the 12 of Jacob Barker. Dickerson all over the back of him. The 44 is showing some good pace here at the halfway mark. He wants to get to the front. Down the front straightaway is Barker, Dickerson, Kruger, and Gardner. That is your top 4. Benedict Ringer in the 83, and here comes our stage winner of stage number 1, 80 of Cliff Adams, trying to get his way back to the front after falling back early. The 12 of Barker off of turn number 1 down the Long Pond straightaway. He has got the 44 closing on the back, and we're pretty much single file. We got about 13 cars left on the racetrack. They're all single file except for that of Aiden O'Neill. Aiden taking a look to the inside of Hughes. They've got the 17 of Mark Osher. We haven't said Mark's name this whole race, but the 17 still out there on the racetrack. The Fastenal sponsor, number 17. He's now up 10 spots. He started basically dead last in this race, down to 19th. He's now up to 9th. Hughes right there behind him. The Twitch sponsor, number 18, taking a look up underneath the 17 of Mark Osher. Does he have the spot? Not across the line. Mark's going to fight back right there. He's going to keep a hold of the 9th spot. A little further up the road, Kruger is going to lose a spot to Gardner. Gardner now back up to 3rd. Take a look at our battle up here at the front. It's still Barker and Dickerson off the corner. About 0.2 of a second, a little bit less. You can see Dickerson makes up some ground with the draft down the straightaway right there. They make their way down in to turn number 2. Kruger fights back up on the inside of Gardner. He's going to take that spot away. Here comes Benedict Ringer. He's going to follow through. Gardner with a little mistake off the corner. He can lose a couple of spots. He might lose another one as here comes Cliff Adams now to the bottom of the racetrack. Cliff Adams, or Gardner's going to fall back to 5th. Adams right there in 6th. He takes a look to the inside. Here comes Bennett. Here comes Ringer to the inside of Kruger. Kruger pushes up the racetrack a little bit. I don't know if that was by design or not, but he's got a good run here off the corner. Little contact for the outside wall. You saw the 44 Dickerson catch a little piece of the concrete. Mark's getting a little bit of separation. Dickerson made that little mistake, caught the fence. He's backing off about 3 or 4 car lengths. He's now got Justin Kruger all over the back of him. Ringer now to the bottom of the 29. Here comes Cliff Adams at the line. The 80 is going to have a spot there on Gardner. Adams back up to 5th. See if our chart works here. You can see Cliff's battle here way back there in lap 37. He's back there in about 10th spot. You can just see him slowly progressing back up through the field. Now he's got himself back up into the top 5. Watch the 80s looking really strong right here, but right now it's Dickerson and Barker up front. Let's take a look at our drivers involved in that last caution. Charlie Bowling back here in 13th, not able to, he did not look like Charlie was able to use his fast repair right there, as he's still got some damage on the race car. I think he's hoping for another caution to come in and get some repairs, but right now he is off the pace down here in 13th. 18 and Hunter Hughes also involved in that. Looks like Hunter was able to use his fast repair. He's back up to 7th. Right there behind him is the 19 of Connor Fuse. single file up front. You usually see this in these long runs here at Pocono. If you get a long green flag run, you're going to see everybody kind of settle into these single line. And you're seeing just that right now, but a little bit different lines right there off the corners. You can see Barker up about the middle of the racetrack with Dickerson and Kruger way down at the bottom. Let's see what they do heading into turn number 2. And once again, Barker with just a little bit higher entry. And that allows Matt Dickerson to really close up on him. Barker got loose right there off the corner, had to collect the car, had to get out of the throttle just a little bit. That's going to allow the 44 of Dickerson to close in. Adams now up here alongside of the 83 of Ringer. He's looking to take 4th away. Vortex Motorsports find their way back to the front. Dickerson now in 2nd. We take a look at the Vortex Motorsports teammates. Farrell down there in 14th, but Matt Dickerson and Cliff Adams both up here in the top 5. We got Timu Joe. I always have a hard time saying this. Timu Joe Gibbs. I guess it's supposed to be the less expensive, cheaper Joe Gibbs Racing. That's kind of the joke right there. Kruger right here up in 3rd. He's got Benedict Ringer, his teammate, both in the top 5 as well. Matthew Hobbs out of this race now, down in 16th. But up front, it's still Jacob Barker. He's doing a good job. He's led here. How many laps has Jacob led? Now we take a look at it. Jacob's led 15 laps, but he's not going to lead anymore. As here comes Matt Dickerson down on the bottom. Justin Kruger looking to follow through. Barker now back to 2nd. Kruger now to the bottom of Barker as they come across the start-finish line to complete lap number 48. We start lap 49. 36 laps left to go in this race. Here comes Kruger now. Kruger's got a good car in the 29. Way up the racetrack goes the 12 of Barker. Has to get way out of the throttle to keep it off the fence. He's going to lose another spot there. It looks like Kruger's going to go by. Adams also looking to go by the 12. See Kruger down the bottom of the racetrack. Adams giving him a little bit of push down the back straightaway here. As they head into turn number 2. And once again down this little short chute between 2 and 3. Adams moves to the outside. He is going to give Barker a little bit of a shove right there, as that's going to help Barker get clear of Kruger back up to 2nd. Well, these guys all battling back here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's going to allow Dickerson to get away. It's about 0.8 of a second now out in front as we take a look here. As you can see, Barker now going to lose that spot to Kruger. Kruger can get a by on the inside. And it's about 0.7 of a second, 0.6 of a second up the road to your leader, Matt Dickerson. A little bit of slicing and dicing going on here for about 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The rest of the car's kind of settled in back there. Ringer now to 5th. Gardner 6th. Hunter Hughes now back up to 7th. He's got Connor Hughes back there in 8th and the 19. Side by side once again. Cliff Adams trying to get around Barker. The 80 car's got a little better pace than the 12 of Barker, but is yet to be able to get around him. And he is going to clear him right here. Move himself back up into 3rd. Ringer, Gardner right there. Hughes has to check up a little bit as Ringer lost a little pace. Off of turn number 3 to complete lap number 50. 35 laps left to go. Dickerson, Kruger, Adams, Barker. We were told fuel mileage is probably around about 35 laps, so if they stay green flag racing, we're going to see green flag stop somewhere around. Let's see, we pitted back on lap 32, so somewhere around lap 60 to 65 would be my assumption. We did have one short caution here, so that might extend that a little bit, maybe to lap 70. We'll see if we can stay green flag from here on out. Dickerson found his way back to the front. I don't think we have the stat here anywhere, but if we had it, I'd look at, do we have laps led anywhere? Let's see if we can find this here as we're watching the racer on the racetrack. Ringer's going to get together with Barker. Barker up the racetrack. Contact between the 83 and the 12 is going to send Barker back a few spots. Ringer involved in an incident earlier with Aiden O'Neill. A little contact right here with the 12 as well. As we, the aforementioned Aiden O'Neill's now up into the battle. He's going to come up to the bottom of the racetrack, up underneath Barker. Barker cuts that line off. He looks up underneath Hughes. That's for 6th. It's now Hughes, Barker, and O'Neill 3 wide off the corner. Colton Gardner blinking on and off there just a little bit. That is your 5th place car, and right back behind him we see O'Neal. Barker still going at it. O'Neal's had a strong car. He's been up towards the front of the field until he got involved in a caution early on. He's trying to get his way back up there, but right now, out in front, is the 44 of Matt Dickerson. And he is starting to pull away. He's about 0.8 of a second now back to the 2nd place 29 of Justin Kruger. Matt's Vortex Motorsports teammate Cliff Adams now up to 3rd. All right, Matt Dickerson right now up front, trying to pick up his 7th win of the season. He has got Justin Kruger and Cliff Adams lurking about a second back, and then it's Benedict Ringer now to 4th. As we are closing in on less than 30 laps left to go. Lap 53 of 85. Matt Dickerson, Justin Kruger, Cliff Adams, Benedict Ringer. That's currently your top 5. Matt Dickerson won the most races, leading the point standings right now. Can he pick up another victory here tonight as Kruger fades a little to the outside, opens up the bottom of the racetrack for Adams, but that outside line, as we've seen so many times today, coming off through turn number 1, is actually giving you some momentum off the corner. That allows Kruger to get a little gap back to Adams, but as they go into turn number 2, Adams takes a look to the inside. Can he have some pace through this little short straightaway? No, that bottom line off of 2 is just not paid off right there. As you see, Ringer's going to get by him for 3rd on the outside as they head into turn number 3. Adams able to take a good dive down on the bottom of the racetrack, get into the corner a little harder, a little deeper than the 83. He's going to slide a little, tries to slide, just about cleared himself off the nose of the 83. Ringer was right there as Adams, you know, we saw a commercial earlier for AI Chief. I think Adams might need to get a little different spotter because he tried to move up the racetrack right there, or the car pushed, one of the two, and he just about cleared himself off the nose of the 83. But we're going to stay green flag racing. He's going to get himself up to 3rd. We're going to stay clean and green here as now Adams takes a look up to the inside of Kruger. Ringer takes a look to the inside of Adams. Adams moves down the racetrack, tries to block that line off, but he can't get down there soon enough. Here comes Ringer. Going to take that 3rd spot back away. It is getting spicy up front. Ringer now back up to 3rd. Adams going to lose another spot. Here comes Gardner by. Adams trying to stay down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's giving Gardner room, not a lot of space. It's about a car width on the bottom. He's pinching him down there pretty hard. Gardner able to make the corner, but that allows Adams to get back around him. Gardner now back to 5th. And you see that so many times. You got to give that guy in this racetrack, a guy in the bottom, room, but you don't have to give him a lot of room. And if you can pinch him down there like that, make them have to get out of the throttle a little harder to keep the car rotated on the bottom and keep it from pushing up into you. And that's exactly what Cliff Adams did right there. Nothing dirty about that, just good hard racing, and that is going to move Gardner back to 4th. Hughes now back up to 5th. Excuse me. Gardner in 5th, Hughes in 6th. A little further back, we can see Aiden O'Neill taking a look to the inside of Connor Fuse in the 19. Fuse collects the outside wall just a little bit right there. That is going to allow Aiden O'Neill to get a run up underneath the 19. Jacob Barker right there in front of him in the 12. Jacob led some laps early on in this race. He is now fallen back to 7th. So this is basically all the cars that are what we would typically call maybe a league draft, at least on the same straightaway together. Then it's a little ways back to the 10 of Mark Osher. He's got Zachary Steele right there with him. Todd Rush in the 55, in the Liquid Death number 55, a little further back. And then it's Charlie Bowling in the 5, who was not able to fully repair that 5 car. It looks like he has now. So Charlie pitted on lap 51. Looks like he used his fast repair. So he's short pitted here. He should be able to go the rest of the distance on fuel. Let's see how that pays off for Charlie. He lost a lot of ground early when we went back to racing, not taking his fast repair earlier. So let's see how that plays out here for him. But right now, back up front, it is still the 44 of Matt Dickerson. Justin Kruger in the 29. He's got his hands full with Ringer. and Cliff Adams right there as well. Make our way off the final corner to come across the line and complete lap number 57, start 58. 33 laps left to go. That pause was me trying to do the math in my head, how many laps was left to go. So it's Kruger now hanging on to that second spot, but Ringer is all over the back of him. The 83 car, you see him, you see that bright orange team with number 83 in your mirror. You know he's coming. He's going to, every opportunity he have, you leave a spot open, and Benedict Ringer's going to stick a nose in there. Watch the 83 Ringer. Does he have anything for Kruger? Make our way off of turn number 2. Gardner into the wall back there. You can see the concrete fly. The 41 of Colt Gardner getting a little piece of the wall. Adams up along the 83 Ringer. Kruger right there. We've got 3 cars fighting for second, third, and fourth. You can throw a blanket over him right now. Kruger's going to get a run off the outside. Ringer right there with him. Adams stuck on the bottom. He has to fade back. And just like we've seen all day long, that outside line just gets enough momentum that the guy in the bottom's having to pinch the car down there and just not able to get any momentum off the corner. Ringer's going to challenge Kruger one more time. Settles back behind him down the Long Pong straightaway. Dickerson out in front of this thing. Here comes Kruger. We got a battle going on here for second, from about second on back to sixth, with Kruger, Ringer, Adams, Gardner, and Hughes. Ringer looks to the inside one more time on the 29. Off the final corner. Here comes Benedict Ringer in the 83. He's going to clear Kruger, slide right up in front of him just by inches. Ringer able to take the second spot away from Justin Kruger. 25 laps left to go in this race. Adams taking a look to the inside of Kruger. We've still got one more pit stop to make. All these drivers are going to have to pit at least one more time for fuel. Kruger now back to third. He's the dispense of Adams. Adams was giving him a challenge for third right there, but he's going to take that spot back away. Here comes the 80 back to the inside one more time. Kruger's just letting that car drift up a little bit, but it's actually paying off for him. He's able to carry the momentum off the corner. Adams takes a peek to the inside one more time. Just not there. Just can't get up alongside of Kruger. He's going to get dip a nose down underneath the yellow line this time. Is that going to help him off the corner? It looks like it just might. Across the start-finish line, I think Adams has the position on Kruger as they head down into one. And as I say that, here comes the 29 fighting back on the inside one more time. Looks like Todd Rush going to make his way down pit road in the 55. Adams able to clear Justin Kruger for that third spot. Then it's Kruger, Gardner, Hughes now back up to fifth. And it's a little ways back to Aiden O'Neill in the 87. Long green flag run here at Pocono. You see these a lot. Expect to have long green flag runs here, and it's exactly what we're seeing late in this race. We had a few cautions early, but I think we're about ready to see some green flag pit stops here within the next 5 to 10 laps, maybe sooner. Gardner takes a look to the inside of Kruger now. Kruger starting to fade here a little bit. Restarted up in the front here on the last restart, but he's starting to fade back a little bit. Maybe that right front tire is starting to go away on the 29. But he is going to fight off that battle from the 41 of Gardner. As we see the 55 of Todd Rush making his way off of pit lane for what looks to be his final pit stop of the night. Separation here from a third, fourth, fifth, and sixth drivers. Adams, Kruger, Gardner, and Hughes. And Gardner getting a good run. He gets into the corner a little better than Kruger. Kruger's a little bit better from the center off. You can see him starting to separate that back out again. Gardner dove down into the corner, made up a couple car lanes. And you see that here again. Gardner's able to get into the corner a little deeper. But that's hurting his exit as Kruger's able to pull him off the corner. Pit stop's going to start here for Adams and Gardner, going to make their way down pit lane. We watched the 80 and the 41 come down pit lane together. As Ringer has caught Matt Dickerson for the lead as we were looking around through the rest of the field. Here comes the 83 now. Ringer now going to take that spot away. That was about a second gap between those two. Ringer able to reel him in. Going to take the lead away here from the 44, Matt Dickerson. We just saw Matt's teammate Cliff Adams pit. Let's see if Matt comes down pit road as well. It's also good Blue Ridge Racing, a little call out here. They got 3 drivers in the top 10. Barker, Fuse, and Gardner, all with a good run. Fuse hard into the outside wall. Following his teammate Jacob Barker, you saw Connor Fuse collect the concrete. Mark Osher going to pull down pit road for his final pit stop here. Green flag stops happening here at Pocono. 17 coming down pit road. The 88 of Zachary Steele making his way off of pit lane. Here comes Kruger and Barker. They're going to make their final pit stop here on lap 64. Still out front, Ringer Dickerson. They're going to go a little bit long here. Let's see if that pays out for them or hurts them. We see some of the faster cars. We see Adams, Gardner all come down pit road as well. They're going to be on fresher tires. They're going to undercut these two up here. Let's see how that pays off. I think when we cycle back through, I think we're going to see Cliff Adams up towards the front. Charlie Bolin, he also pitted about 11 laps earlier than everybody else. Still out here on the racetrack. He has got the 80 of Cliff Adams coming up on the back bumper. The Bolin was able to pit earlier, put in some good lap times, made up some ground after getting involved in that caution earlier, not taking his fast repair. He's got up to 6 here. Adams going to go by him. I think this is going to be eventually what you're seeing, the battle for the leader right now, because I think Dickerson's now going to make his way down pit road, but it's Hughes coming down pit road hard right there in the 18. I think he just barely got it stopped in time. But Dickerson went a couple laps longer than Cliff Adams. Let's see how that plays out. Those Adams and Gardner, as I said, I believe this is what's going to be the battle for the lead. Let's watch Matt Dickerson. When he starts coming off of pit road, he's still getting his service done. He's got the 18 of Hughes right there in front of him. They're just now getting up on the jacks. Ringer staying out on the racetrack. Connor Fuse right there as well. So Ringer also going long here. We see Matt Dickerson making his way off pit road. Here comes Adams up on the outside. So going a couple laps long there for Matt Dickerson. That undercut there from Adams and Gardner really paying off. So I'm kind of surprised the two Vortec Motorsports teammates didn't pit together. A little bit different strategy, and you can see the difference there. Adams was able to clear Dickerson. I mean, Dickerson's about a half straightaway back now at this point. He's got Kruger right there with him. Let's see when Benedict Ringer's going to pit. He can't go too long at this point. He stays out there too long, he's going to lose a lot of time. So let's see what happens with Benedict Ringer. Does he pit this time by? Connor Fuse in the 19, about a half a straightaway back. You can see some damage there on the right front. Let's see if we can see that on our camera here. Now you can see a little bit of damage right there on the front bumper of the 19. You can definitely see it from that angle. But right now the leader, 83 of Ringer, he's going to go around at least one more time. Let's see if he comes down pit road this time. You can see Todd Rush right there behind him. Todd pitted back on lap 60. He's got fresh tires even though he's a lap down. Here comes Ringer down pit road. Let's see where Benedict cycles out. That's going to hand over the lead to Connor Fuse. So Connor Fuse in the 19 is going to lead for the first time today. Connor Fuse now out in front. Lap 67, 18 laps left to go in this race. He's going to have to pit here soon. He pitted last on lap 32. So here comes Adams and Gardner. This is basically your battle for the lead right now. Is Benedict Ringer just now getting his service, and as you can see, there is Adams and Gardner crossing the start-finish line. They are going to blow past Ringer right here as he sits down on pit road. This is your battle for the lead. Connor Fuse up the road. Connor has the lead right now, but he is going to have to pit within a lap or two. Ringer now just getting off of pit road. And if we can see where Ringer is on the racetrack here, he is just now entering turn number 1. And Adams, you can see him way back. You can see the orange car back there in the back. We're looking at our leaders here. You can see Ringer about a straightaway back now at this point. So he's got some gap to make up as he pitted about 2 laps later. Or actually about, let's see here. The Ringer pitted on 6, about 4 laps later than our leaders now. So about 4 laps difference on these tires. Is that going to come into play late in this race? So your leader still the 19 of Fuse. Let's see where Connor Fuse is going to come into pit. So getting some laps led here at Pocono. He picked up a win early on in the season at Daytona. But a good run here from Connor as he's found his way up to the front of the field. You can see Mark Osher right there behind him, a lap car. First car a lap down at this point. All right, Adams, Gardner, you can see a little bit further back is Kruger, Hughes, Dickerson, Barker, all right here as well. Let's see if they can close in, if they can sit here and maybe work together a little bit. If these two can get fighting, maybe they can reel them in. Draft does come into play here at Pocono, especially down that long front straightaway. Connor Fuse still out on the racetrack. Where is Connor at? He's got Mark Osher in the 17 lap car closing up on the back of him. But I think at this point Connor's just hoping for a caution flag. But even at that, I think he's still going to fall to the back of this field because everybody else can make it on field. So let's see what happens here. Keep an eye on the 19. Is he going to dive down pit road this time by? Going to make his way off the final corner. It almost looks like left front tires is a little flat, but is Connor going to go around one more time? It looks like he is. He's going to keep going here. He's just hoping for a caution. I mean, that's all he can hope for at this point. As right now, it is Gardner and Adams first and second up here, and a little ways back you can see Kruger, Hughes, Dickerson, and Barker trying to reel these guys in. $15 laps left to go here at Pocono. Right now the battle for leads down to 2 drivers. It's Cliff Adams and Bolton Gardner. I know the racetrack says Connor Fuse is leading, but he is going to have to hand over that lead here sometime soon as he pitted back on lap 32. He's now gone 38 laps, which is about 3 or 4 laps longer than any of us expected he could go. As Gardner's going to get around Adams there for second now at this point. The 19 of Connor Fuse still out there in the front. And here he comes down pit road. He's going to get his final pit stop. He's got some repairs to do on that right front as well. As Gardner and Adams make their way down into the final corner, Connor Fuse still making his way down to his pit stall. Has not even started his services yet. And that is going to give the lead over to the 41 of Colton Gardner here with about 14 laps left to go. Adams closing in. Let's take a look here at the last 5 laps between our leader and Justin Kruger. And you can see Gardner's been faster the last 5 laps out there. So Kruger and this group here behind him actually losing some pace right now. Losing just close to 0.2 of a second, as you can see right here on our head-to-head matchup brought to you by Collateral Damage Sports Network. So Hughes right there, Dickerson, Barker, O'Neill, all trying to make up some ground. Benedict Ringer had the lead here a little bit before these pit stops started. He is now back. Let's take a look at the same comparison here with Ringer and the leader. The last couple of laps, about 3 to 4 of a second. So Benedict Ringer's been stuck in traffic here a little bit. If he can get clear of Aiden O'Neill, can he make up any ground? But right now up front, a blistering pace being set by Colton Gardner and Cliff Adams right here, the 41 and the 80. Looking really great here late. We got 13 laps left to go. Kruger just not able to make up any ground. It is about 2 seconds now between the leader and the third place run in 29 of Justin Kruger. Let's see if we can find a battle on the racetrack here. Aiden Ringer able to clear O'Neill, set his sights. We'll keep an eye on his lap times at 83. Can he make up any ground? The team who sponsored number 83 starting to make his way back up through the front after pitting late, kind of going really late on those pit stops. Adams kind of grayed down on my screen. I thought maybe he disconnected or something, but he's still hanging on to that second spot. Hughes and Kruger going at it for third. Kruger down to the inside of the 18. Matt Dickerson right there. Matt Dickerson sees an opportunity. Can he make it 3 wide? Make their way off of turn number 1 down the Long Pond straightaway. Right now, Kruger underneath the 18 of Hughes. Dickerson right there with him, trying to give him a little draft help. And he, once again, as we have seen all day long, that outside line just able to carry the momentum. Hughes able to clear Kruger right there off the corner. Dickerson takes a peek to the inside. Kruger gets down on the grass. He's going to get sideways off the corner. Does a nice job of saving it, but unfortunately it's going to cost him a spot. Nice save there from Justin Kruger off the corner, but unfortunately he's going to lose 2 spots as Dickerson and Barker are both going to go by. Take a look back here at the 5 of Charlie Bolin. He made that early pit stop on lap 51. Took his quick repairs. Unfortunately, it's not paid off for him. He's way back here in 10th. Cliff Adams closing up on the back bumper of the 41. We jump on board with the number 80 of Cliff Adams. You can see just tiny movements on the steering wheel. You don't want to make any wasted movements on the wheel that you have to, and they come off of turn number 3, and you can see right there Adams able to close up on the back of the 41. He has got a great run down the front straightaway. He's drafting right there behind Colton Garner. Can he take a look into 1? Looks like he's going to settle in behind him right there. No late dive there from 80 of Cliff Adams. He's going to stay right there in 2nd. Thanks again for joining us here at our tape-delayed coverage of the Half Decent Racing League. Round number 17 at Pocono. My name's Chris Murphy here with DRSN. If you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button. You want to know when we're going to go live. We've got more racing action coming your way later today. Another tape-delayed race coverage of the Survival 200. From the rough racing community, they're going to be running mini stocks, Indy cars, and Craftsman trucks all at the same time at Daytona. Should be an interesting night. We've also got JWR iRacing Craftsman trucks from Talladega coming your way later tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern. Catch that one live. Money Racing Community always puts on a good show. But right now, we are here at Pocono for the Half Decent Racing League, and Cliff Adams is on the back bumper as we jump on the gear cam of Gardner. And you can see Smith fading back here a little bit. So it's going to give him a chance to get a little bit of run off the corner. Here comes the 80 of Cliff Adams trying to make a run on Gardner. So these two about 2.5 seconds now out in front. It's about 2.2 seconds back to Hughes as Hughes hits the wall off the corner. Matt Dickerson is going to take advantage of that. He's going to look to the inside of the 18. Matt Dickerson now back up to 3rd. We got Blue Ridge Racing up front. Then it's Vortex Motorsports 2nd and 3rd. Hunter Hughes, according to my information, an independent running in 4th. And his teammate Joe Gibbs 5th and 6th with Kruger and Ringer. Good battle going on up front here for the 41 and the 80. Right now it's going to come down to these two. We've got about 8 laps left to go. Nobody else in the picture here late. Let's take a look at our lap leaders, see that they're out this race. 12 different drivers. We only had 18 start, 17 actually really started the race. 12 have led a lap here. So Hughes, Jacob Barker, Dickerson, Bowling have all led double digits, and as Adams led a few here. Gardner also led 6. Connor Fuse got up and led 5 laps. Benedict Ringer, Stephen Farrell, and Aiden O'Neill all got up there and led a lap at one point. Let's take a look at our biggest movers of the race. Mark Osher up 6 spots. Gardner up 5th. Up 5, not 5th. He's up 5 spots. Zachary Steele up 4. As we take a look here, as we were always looking at some other little side stat, something happens on the racetrack, and here comes Cliff Adams to the inside of Gardner for the lead. As we are on lap 78. Off of turn number 1 here. heading up into turn number 2. Adams trying to get up underneath Gardner. Gardner fights back up on the outside. Colton has run that outside line well all day long. They make their way off of turn number 2. The 41 of Gardner is going to be able to clear Adams down on the bottom, but here they are side by side once again. Adams comes back on the bottom into 3. Back to the front, side by side, the 80 and the 41. Good, clean racing going on right here between these two. A lot of respect between Adams and Gardner, and you can see it out there on the racetrack. They come across the line to start lap number 79. We've got 6 laps left to go. Or 7 laps left to go at this point, but here comes Adams back down to the bottom one more time. This is your battle for the lead right now. The 41 and the 80, they're side by side, and they're racing side by side. That's letting the rest of this group catch up. You can see Matt Dickerson starting to close in. Matt Dickerson closing in on Cliff Adams right there in front of him. It's down to 1.3 seconds. It was up over 2 not too long ago. We are fixing to have, we got 2-car battle for the lead right now. They've been side by side now for about the last 2 laps. And that is really letting those drivers behind him reel him in. Here comes Matt Dickerson in the 44 in 3rd, and he is making up some ground. He's making it up in a hurry. Across the line to start lap number 80. Still side by side. A great show right here. Up front for the lead. Nobody wants to give an inch. I think if this 2 would just settle in line for a few laps and fight it out the last couple of laps, it's going to come down to the 2 of them. But right now, they are racing side by side, and that has allowed Dickerson now to close in. It is now 0.8 of a second, where it was almost 2 seconds. Hunter Hughes also right there in 4th. Benedict Ringer in 5th. 6 laps left to go. Cliff Adams finds his way back to the front. Gardner now falls back to 2nd. Matt Dickerson in the 44 right there lurking, trying to find an opportunity to make up some ground. Right now he's about a second back. Can he find some pace here late in this race? We got 5 laps left to go to come across the line. Barney's holding up the 5 fingers, 5 to go. We got 5 cars with a chance to win this race right here. Adams, Gardner, Dickerson, Ringer, Hughes. Right there in the top 5, and it's a little further back to Justin Kruger. If we stay green, it's going to come down to one of these 5. Right now, it looks to be going to come down to the top 2 right here between Gardner and Adams. But if they get back to racing again, watch the 44, and Ringer's now made his way back up to 4th. So Ringer clears Hughes for 4th. He sets his sail. Oh, hard contact with the outside wall for the 41 of Gardner. He is going to collect a piece of the concrete. That is going to allow Adams to get a little more separation. Did Gardner take some damage right there? He's got Dickerson and Ringer closing up on the back of him. Four laps left to go across the line. 4 laps left to go in this race here at Pocono for the Half Decent Racing League. It's coming down to the wire. We've had some great racing all throughout this event, but right now it's coming down to 2 drivers, Adams and Gardner. But here comes Dickerson and Ringer. Ringer down the inside of Dickerson. Ringer takes a look to the inside up into turn number 2. Does he have the pace to clear Matt Dickerson into little contact right there in the center of the corner? Inches between those drivers. I don't think you could have put a piece of paper between them. Dickerson able to clear the 83 and Ringer up on the outside. Your battle for 3rd and 4th. Matt Dickerson and Benedict Ringer. They call him Benny. As they come off of turn number 3, he's going to take a look to the inside. No, he's going to have to stay right there behind the 44. Does not have the pace to get alongside. Gardner starting to fall back off the back bumper of the 80. We got 3 laps left to go. We start lap 83 of 85. Cliff Adams, Colton Gardner, Matt Dickerson. It's down to these 4 now at this point. Adams way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Gardner started to follow him. They went back to the top. Dickerson and Ringer there nose to tail. Right now, this looks like Adams' race to win if he can stay up front and stay clean. Dickerson to the outside wall. That is going to let Ringer get by him there for third. Dickerson falls back to fourth. And Ringer had fallen way back. He pitted much later than these drivers. He pitted about 4 laps later, which he lost a lot of ground. Adams goes down to the bottom. I feel like we're watching Daytona. These guys serpentining down the front straightaway. 2 laps left to go this time by. Ringer takes a look to the inside into 1. Now goes to the outside of Gardner. Let's see if he gives him some momentum off the corner. Watch the 83 dive down to the bottom of the racetrack off of 1 right there. Nose to tail. Lap and a half left to go here at side by side. You can see the 41 get a little wiggle right there in front of him off the nose of the 83. 83 takes a look, gets contact right there. Ringer gets into the right and left rear quarter of the 41, gets him loose. Gardner's got to chase the car up the racetrack to keep it in one piece. Ringer gets loose off the corner as Dickerson closes up on the back of him. This is letting Cliff Adams drive away, but we're going to keep an eye on this battle for second, third, and fourth. Ringer now to second, Gardner to third, Dickerson now up to fourth. He takes a look to the inside of Gardner off the corner. Ringer now with a good job getting to second. Looks like our battle is for third. White flag is in the air for the 80 of Cliff Adams, and he has got about a second clear of Benedict Ringer. It's his race to win at this point, or his race to lose, whichever way you want to look at it. Right now, Gardner's holding on to that last podium spot in third, but here comes Matt Dickerson in the 44. Off of turn number 1, Dickerson takes a peek to the inside, does not have the run. Can he find a way around Colton Gardner, get that last podium spot? Ringer up in second, looks to be pretty solid, holding on to second place right there. Dickerson takes a look to the inside of Gardner. I think he's got the line right here. He's going to take that third spot away as we hit into the final corner. Off of turn number 3, up front right now is Cliff Adams. Adams going to come home with the victory. Going to come across the line. Benedict Ringer there in second. The battle's for third. It's going to be Matt Dickerson coming home in third, taking that last podium spot. Colton Gardner in fourth. Hunter Hughes is going to come home in fifth. Justin Kruger in the 29 in the sixth finishing spot. Barker, who led a few laps early, is going to fall back here to 7th. Aiden O'Neill also had a good hot rod today, back in 8th. Connor Fuse in 9th. And Zachary Steele, but right now up front, this was your battle for the lead. Let's go back here and take a look at that last lap. That last lap battle between Dickerson and Gardner. This was at the white flag. You can see Dickerson now all over the back of Gardner. Watch him as they're heading down into turn number 1. He's looking for a place to go. Ringer has already cleared Gardner for that second spot. Gardner's just trying to hang on. It looks like he's used up that right rear tire. He did pit a couple laps earlier than these guys, but he pitted on the same lap as Cliff Adams, and it didn't really seem to affect Adams nearly as much. As we watch this last lap unfold here one more time, watch the 44 just looking for a line. He gets a great run off a 2 right here. And he's going to get up alongside of Gardner as they head down into the final corner. It's just going to have too good a run off the bottom. Gardner can't hang on to it. Going to come off the corner. Dickerson able to slide it across the nose of the 41, take that third spot away. But Cliff Adams in the 80 is going to come home with another victory this year. I believe that is going to be his third win of the season for Cliff Adams. So Cliff Adams coming home with a win. Benedict Ringer in second. Matt Dickerson in third. Great finish there from the Vortex Motorsports driver. Going to go first and third. We make our way around to the front straightaway. We're going to see if we can get our drivers up here for a quick interview. Take a look here at our... We're getting drivers up here. Let's take a quick look at our full results for the evening. If I can find the right button to click on. Here we go. So Cliff Adams coming on with the win. Benedict Ringer, Matt Dickerson, Colton Gardner. Hunter Hughes, Justin Kruger, Jacob Barker, Aiden O'Neill, Connor Hughes, Zachary Steele. That's your top 10. Back in 11th to 55 at Todd Rush Jr. Charlie Bowling up and down throughout the field today. It's going to come home in 12th. Mark Osher, 13th. That was our only drivers left on the racetrack. Then it's Stephen Farrell, 14th. Shane Williams, Matthew Hobbs. 16 cars that basically started this race. Colin Swanson got out there and ran a few laps, but did not take the green flag. Cody Zerhoff did not start at all. He's going to come home in 19th. So there's our podium drivers. Let's see if we can get them up here for an interview. 85 laps at Pocono. It comes down to the final 5 laps. Cliff Adams brings home the win. I believe that's your 3rd or 4th win on the season, Cliff. Nice job right there at the end. You had a heck of a battle going on with Colton.
Yeah, it was. I let him get in front of me, or I didn't let him. I kind of gave up the spot once he got beside me, but I knew it was going to be tough, and I figure, maybe he'll make a mistake, or I could save a little bit of tire enough to get around him. It's so hard to pass here, and luckily enough, I was able to get back by him.
Well, you just kept putting pressure on, and finally opened up the bottom of the racetrack for you there. Tell us how early on in the night went for you. It looked like quite a few cautions early on in this race, but it got pretty sorted out there towards the end. Long green flag run there in the last part of the race there.
Yeah, we had a good run in the beginning, and got a little, cautions there kind of in the middle, and then nice run in there at the end. But I think the stage one pit stop, I slipped through my box, and it set me behind a bit, and I just couldn't get around people, and it was so tough, getting stuck behind, getting past, and I couldn't get a good restart all night. But I was able to work out there at the end. I was hoping for a green flag stop, and I knocked that out pretty well and got back to the lead that way. So I was able to close it out after that stop.
Well, we come back. So after Pocono kind of runs a little like a road course, I guess, but we got 2 road courses coming up. Brand new San Diego track. Have you had a chance to run any laps on it for next week?
No, I haven't. I got to put in some practice because, I'm all right at road courses. I tend to do okay, but I don't know about that one, so I got to put in some practice. I'm racing, I think, Benedict for the tournament win next week at that course. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, congratulations on another victory on the season. You look really good out there tonight. Good luck whatever else you're going on for the rest of the weekend, and I'm sure we'll get to talk to you next Friday night. But before you go, anybody else you want to give a thanks to?
The boys at Vortex Motorsports, Matt, Brendan, Steven, Todd, running the league, the admins do the behind the scenes stuff, Corey doing the race control, and you put on the broadcast, and just a lot of fun racing with some of these guys, some of them, but yep.
All right, brother. Well, good job, and we'll talk to you again next time.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah. All right, let's get a second place finish upper. Benny Benedict Ringer. Benny, are you there, buddy?
I am, Chris.
Well, it looked like you had yourself a good run throughout the night. Kind of tell us how it looked behind the wheel of the 83 for most of the evening for you.
Yeah. This is my first time at Pocono, so first stage I was just trying to, learn it out, learn what the car was doing, and basically how to, drive the tricky triangle. And then second I was getting better, and then I just ran in the back of the 87, Aiden. So once again, sorry about that. So then I got sent to the back in stage 3, and then drove all the way up to first, and I think I just stayed out a couple laps too late. Because when I came out, I took 4 tires, and I came out of the pits, and I had to go a couple laps without the draft, which I think definitely hurt my lap times. And 0.6 seconds is all I needed, and I just fell up short, I guess.
Well, a couple laps there towards the end, battling out with Colton there for a second. Look, I made a little contact going into the final corner.
Yeah, I just sent it in, and I needed to go. He held me down pretty low. Honestly, I don't think I even got an incident from that. So, but obviously it was enough to get him loose. So, my bad, Colton. But I was trying to win, and another second place finish. And I guess I ruined it for the both of us because right there I lost a lot of time and fell up short.
Yeah, second. What's the saying? Second's just the first loser. I know how you feel. You always you have a good run. We want to stay up front. But second, you got to be happy. This is a good group of guys to race with, and anytime you come home on the podium's a good run here on a Friday night.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm still happy about it, especially, yeah, I mean, Pocono, once I started shifting, it got a lot easier to turn, and it was kind of fun. I was having fun out there passing cars and, moving up. I think when I came out of the pits, it was, 8 seconds to the leader, and I brought it all the way down to 0.6 in, less than 20 laps. So it was a good drive, but, yeah, just fell up short again, so.
Well, congrats on a good run. And we got a couple road courses coming up. How are you feeling about San Diego? I don't think anybody's really had many laps on that track yet.
No, that's going to be the great equalizer. So I think I think I beat, my matchup was Barker. Yeah, Jacob Barker. I think I beat him. So I'll be in the finals. I don't know who I'm facing, but, it'll be a road course, and it's not against Jesse, I know. So I think I have a good shot of bringing home the trophy. So.
Well, good job,
We'll see. I got to practice a lot more on that track. I mean, I still need to buy the track.
I still got to buy it myself. I got to get on and pay attention. I got to even look. Never even seen the place, so I got to get on to do some study on it before next Friday night. Hey, man, but good job again tonight. Congratulations. Who else? Who else helped you get done on the '83 car out there tonight?
Justin, my teammate. We were definitely drafting. That helped me get to the lead in the first green flag run in the third stage. So that was definitely fun. Going with them, help each other out. Running Matt down, and then also Hobbs, my other teammate, you, Chris, for the broadcast, and all the admins as well.
All right, brother. Well, have a good rest of the weekend, and I'm sure we'll get to talk to you again before the season's out.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, man. Bye. All right, third place finisher. Let's get Matt up here. Matt Dickerson. How's it going there, buddy?
Good, man. Good.
So, kind of give us a play-by-play how the night went for the 44 car. Got yourself up into the podium spot. You were running about 4th or 5th there towards the end, kind of battling out with Hunter, and Colton looks to be kind of wear his tires out and gave you an opportunity to get up into the podium. But kind of tell us how it was behind the wheel of the 44 tonight.
Yeah, it was, I think it qualified like 4th or so, and then kind of dropped a couple spots at the beginning, and it seemed to be really hard to pass, but I ended up getting in a wreck at the beginning, using my fast pair and having to come back through the field. And then, like that last green flag run there, we all had a green flag pit stop, and I took right sides, and I don't know what I did, if I had to back up a little bit or something, but like my pit crew was slow to get over the wall, I think. And then, I don't know, I thought I'd be out farther, and I ended up behind like 3 people. So I was on old left side tires trying to battle. I think a lot of people were 4, so. Third's good. I'll take a third.
Well, podium finish tonight. I know Cliff's right there with you in the point standings, but still a good, solid point finish tonight. We've got, as we've talked to the other guys about already, we've got a couple road courses coming up. You seem to be pretty good on the road courses the last couple we ran. How you feeling about San Diego and Sonoma coming up?
I like Sonoma. I mean, I haven't ran it much on iRacing, but I know the track and everything. I ran it on other games and stuff, but the new one, the one next week, I've never, I never ran it. I got to get it and everything, get some practice in. So we'll see. I'm usually decent, at road courses. Usually close, around top 5 and everything. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, I think leaving that track on the schedule, I think iRacing owes Todd and these guys over at Half Decent maybe a little bit of kickback for everybody having to buy the track all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was just. Me and Cliff were just looking forward on the thing here to buy it.
Yeah. Well, good job out there again tonight, man. I know you're gonna every week. It seems like you're right here, up here in the booth with us, and another good finish here tonight. Come home in third. But before we get you out of here, anybody else you want to give a thanks to?
Yeah, man. You for doing the broadcast, and everybody that runs the league. Bully Dog Coffee Company, and then the league sponsor too, Sunny Creek Designs.
All right, brother. Well, have a good rest of the weekend. We're going to go ahead and get you out of here, so have a good rest of the weekend, and I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk to you in the next couple weeks.
All right, buddy. Have a good weekend.
All right, brother. Have a good weekend. All right. Thanks for the podium drivers getting up here, doing a little quick interview with us. Cliff Adams coming home with another victory. Benedict Ringer, Matt Dickerson. That is your top 3. And as we talked, we're going to come back next Friday night, actually. I'm getting confused on my days. Next Friday night here for the Half Decent Racing League. We're going to find our way to San Diego First time any of us have been to that racetrack. I know we had a few of the drivers we talked to earlier been trying to get some laps in there, trying to get some practice in, trying to get a little advantage over somebody that maybe just has not get some laps. But it looks like it's going to be pretty rough. It's going to be interesting. It should be a fun race next Friday night. Don't forget, we're going to have another preview here later today of the Rough Race Community. What do they call themselves? The Rough Racing Community. They put on a show last night with the they called it the Survival 200. It was mini stocks, Indy cars, and Craftsman trucks at Daytona. We've got some coverage coming your way here. That we're going to get that here going pretty soon. We've also got later tonight the JWR e-racing money racing community with the Craftsman trucks at Daytona, or excuse me, Talladega tonight. Actually, we jump back and forth between Daytona and Talladega every week, so I get a little confused. But we've got Talladega action with the trucks coming your way tonight. Don't miss that. That's always a fun show to be a part of. And then Tuesday night we come back. We're off on Monday. We need to start doing something on Mondays. But Tuesday night we come back with the Dirty Old Bastards ARCA series. That's turned into quite the series on Tuesday night. A lot of dirt track drivers, we cover the Dirty Old Bastards sprint car series most of the season, but they've put together this pavement series, and we had 31 cars last week, so it's turning into a really good series on Tuesday nights. That starts at 9 Eastern, 11 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday. We also come back with the Western Racing League Truck Series, and then Wednesday night we have the American Appalachian ARCA series. That's covered by my buddy Sagar Baskey. And then also next week, we're looking to start a new series on Thursday. We're still talking back and forth on that one. We're going to see how that comes to play, but it looks like we're going to be doing the Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Late Model Series. Liam Irving's going to be bringing you that coverage on Thursday night. We're still talking back and forth, hoping to cover that one on. That should be a fun series as well. So we got lots of action coming your way in the next week. We're going to go and get ourselves wrapped up here tonight. We'll take another quick look here at our top 10 finishers here at Pocono. And actually, it was Cliff Adams. We're going to take a look at the full results. How's that? Cliff Adams, Benedict Gringer, Matt Dickerson rounding out your podium. Colton Gardner put up a good fight earlier, but he's going to fall back to fourth. He had a good car all day long, ran up front, comes home in the fourth spot. I know Colton would have liked to have been a few more spots up. Sorry, I had to sneeze right there. Got the sneeze button for you. So Hunter Hughes in the fifth spot. Justin Kruger 6th. Jacob Barker 7th. Aiden O'Neill in 8th. Connor Fuse 9th. Zachary Steele comes home to finish out the top 10. Todd Rush Jr. in the 55 comes home at 11th. Charlie Bowling 12th. Mark Osher 13th. That was the only 13 cars on the racetrack at the end. Stephen Farrell, Shane Williams, Matthew Hobbs all started this race, come home in 14th, 15th, and 16th. Colin Swanson 18th, and Cody Zerhoff missed the start of the race. I think he maybe had to go get a snack or something, but he missed the green flag. So unfortunate for Cody right there. But that is going to round up our coverage here of round number 17 of the Half Decent Racing League from Pocono. 85 laps of racing action came your way, came and gone in a hurry. So we're going to see you later on tonight. But right now, from all of us here at DRSN, thank you so much for spending your day with us, your morning, your afternoon, wherever you're at. I'm Chris Murphy saying keep it smooth, keep it smart, and if you can't do that, at least keep it entertaining for the folks at home. We're going to see you next time. Good night.